just what you see. So I'll make it easy, I'll stay me. My granny and Paul.
Looking back on my life, I have had a pretty crazy adventure. Some of my fondest memories include traveling through every state in the US and Canada, driving those backcountry roads of America, and attending summer camps as a Boy Scout. Now, I started off as a Cub Scout and then moved into Boy Scouts. And as a Boy Scout, I went camping, learned new things, made new friends, and discovered more about who I am and what I believe. The Boy Scout oath is, on my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country, to obey the Scout law, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. Now, there are many times I found that oath hard to follow, especially that morally straight part. Now, I would define morally straight as having a strong character, being comfortable with who you are, and being honest with others. And many times, I found that out the hard way. See, I've been to scout camps every summer. I've been to scout camps in 3 different states, including Hawaii. And I always went alone. Many times, these camps were awkward, and I didn't know how I was going to fit in. But then I realized I could be whoever I wanted to be. At one camp, I was shy. Hardly spoke to anyone. At another camp, I was the friend to everyone. On a different occasion, I was the alpha male and bullied some campers. And when I went to Hawaii, I was chill, just like the Hawaiians. I was able to change and take on roles anywhere I went. I changed to fit in. I changed because I didn't know if they would accept the real me. I changed for all the wrong reasons. Throughout this year, I've come to realize that there's going to be change in our lives. Sometimes we don't have control over that change, and sometimes we do have control. Our character is defined by how we confront that change. I remember back as a Cub Scout learning about this change that we have no control over. See, there's this boy that was different. He was growing just a little bit faster than everyone else. By this time, he was much taller than the other scouts and was made fun of. He was ridiculed because he was taller and grew faster. He had no control over these changes he was experiencing. Well, that little boy happened to be me. After 6 months, I couldn't take it anymore. So I quit Cub Scouts. During this time, all I wanted to do was fit in and be accepted. See, there's these changes in our life we have no control over. All we can do is sit back and take the waves of change as they come. I mean, everything around us is changing, and sometimes we have no control. Some things, they may be minor, like the weather. Others may be much bigger, maybe a physical change, parents getting divorced, loss of a family member, or even a friend. Even though we have no control over these moments, we don't have to let them define us and who we are. We can use them to strengthen ourselves, learn more about who we are and what we can do. Do we accept the change? Work to remain positive? Or do we change to fit that environment? I know there's been several times in my life when I've picked that second option. I can remember a few times when I've changed to fit an environment or a group of people. I mean, one time, 5th grade, I was playing basketball, and this kid, he stole the ball from me. And I looked at him and I said, "What, fool?" I thought to myself, dude, what are you doing? Like, you've never said that before. I don't even think you know what it means. And there was this one time in middle school, all I wanted were friends. So I got involved in ASB and the wrestling team because it was an easy way for me to fit in at a new school. And then there came high school. Now, I just finished wrestling a year for the high school, and I was told that water polo would be phenomenal conditioning. I thought this was perfect. Man, I love water, and tough sports. So when I had that opportunity to learn and play water polo, I jumped to it. And I really enjoyed that sport. Now my teammates, they were some pretty cool guys. And you know what? I was finally making friends. They would take me places, and I felt like I fit in. I finally felt like I was a part of something. But the more I hung out with them, I also learned that they did things that went against the way I was raised. Now, I became torn. Man, I loved the sport. I enjoyed the friends. But my morals, they didn't agree with what some of them were doing. And I was afraid that if I continued to hang out with them, I would change who I was, compromising my morals to fit in with them. So, I made that tough decision, and I ended up quitting both water polo and wrestling. Those two things I missed all throughout high school. However, I finally come to realize I don't have to change for other people. I was tired of changing who I was to be accepted and fit in. I mean, there's all these changes going on in our life, but when we're younger, we don't fear them because we look forward to those new things. As we turn to young adults, we begin to fear change, wondering if when we change, will we fit in? Or wondering how can you change to fit in? It's time to understand we don't need to change to fit in. We just need to be comfortable with who we are and accept our differences. As we're traveling throughout life and experiences these changes, instead of feeling lost and unsure of how to act, instead of wondering if there's this special way to fit in, or that these natural changes we're going through aren't cool, understand that's the change and our reaction to change that define who we are. However, I understand this is difficult. I mean, the world around us is telling us how to look and how to act, what's cool and what's not. While our parents, they toss these key values. It's hard to determine how we're going to react when we want to be cool and fit in with the world, but yet we want to honor our parents and what they taught us. My advice during these times is to understand we will confront change we have no control over. So relax, learn from it, and try to make the best out of a bad situation. And when we confront change that we have control over, ask yourself, is this going to positively impact my life and get me closer towards my future goals? California, I'm just a guy. I went to Hemet High School. I'm going to college next year. I love to eat good food. And because of it, I've gained weight. I love working with my hands. I've traveled through every state in the U.S. I'm an Eagle Scout. And I enjoy helping other people. Now, I have no musical ability whatsoever. It's almost nearly impossible for me to sit still or relax. And I have trouble expressing my emotions. Over this past year, I hope I haven't changed to become a person to fit this jacket. But instead, the changes I went through while learning in this jacket, I embrace. California, I've learned that the changes we have no control over, they teach us. And the changes we have control over define us. Remember, keep those end goals in mind and stay true to who you are. Because California, if you're not yourself, who are you?